Hello, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Live at the Waterhole. My name is Amy, and I will be with you for the show today. We are starting today's show here at the beautiful Tembe Elephant Park. Beautiful Tembe Elephant here. Testing. Does that sound better? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Testing. Well, hello, what's going on, everybody? I am so glad to be with you. And we are enjoying the intelligence here. So please do send through your comments and questions.
Fix the problem, everyone. But as I was saying, this is a live and interactive show, so please do say hello to me and send through your comments and questions. You can do so on the Wild Earth app or the website. You can also chat to me in the YouTube chat stream, or you can join the conversation on X using the hashtag WildEarth. Tembe is always such a beautiful spot, and it's getting so green. It's amazing how just in about 10 days or so that I was last looking at this location, it's changed so much already. But even in the Lowveld in Djuma, some of the footage I've seen over the last 2 weeks has been incredibly green, and I can't wait to see it for myself in a week or so's time. Yes, Fuller, hooray! The gremlins are sometimes around, so we just have to do our best, thanks to our amazing tech team as well for being able to sort out the issues. But it's always nice to just come here, spend some time with all of you who love this show, and maybe some of you who are new to it, and just relax, chat about things, and take it easy. hope everyone has their snacks and drinks ready for today's show. Please do let me know if you have anything special prepared for the Waterhole show today. I'm always interested to hear what everyone has ready. Maybe blueberry muffins, maybe coffee, maybe some iced tea or sweet tea. Who knows? These elephants, they do like this spot. I think there is a bit of shade around there from those large trees, but also very nice and sandy where they can throw that onto their bodies. I think they like the feeling. Also a little bit of extra protection from the sun, especially when they've wet themselves with water or mud, and then that sand really sticks on nicely to their bodies. Hans, you have coffee with you. You say that the scene is really relaxing. It is, isn't it? It really is. And this is one spot that I really enjoy when it rains. I must say, just the sort of landscape view that we have, looking out over the scene. And often the elephants are even here in the rain. And also the birds here at Tembe are always incredible, and we're starting to hear more and more of the migrants' cuckoos as well. Deirdre's cuckoo here at Mabula, where I am at the moment. In Gauteng we've been hearing, Limpopo, sorry, we've been hearing the red-chested cuckoo call a lot, and just more and more of those special summer calls are coming through. Phil, thanks so much. It's been a wonderful 2 weeks here. I'm sad to be heading out tomorrow, but it has been a good stint, and I know Amakala will be back on board as well soon. So Cam and I have had a wonderful time here at Mabula. For those of you who don't know, Wild Earth also does live safari drives every morning and every afternoon, and I've been actually doing live afternoon drives at a game reserve called Mabula up in Limpopo, which is where I am at the moment. And we have this afternoon and tomorrow morning left before we have a bit of a break. But Phil, you want to know what has been my favorite sighting here? Well, there's been two, I think. Difficult for me to decide between the two. I think I would have to say discovering the aardwolf cubs at the den was by far my favorite moment here so far. It was just so unexpected. We had no idea that there were cubs. No one even on the reserve had seen them yet, so that was really a special moment for us. And just the surprise of not one but two little cubbies, that was, oh my goodness, it was just the best. And then yesterday actually was right up there, almost tied for favorite. The jackal pair hunting a baby blessbuck. It was just one of those totally unexpected, incredible moments that I don't know if I'll ever see again. I've never seen jackals hunting something as big as a baby antelope before. I've seen them hunting doves in the Khalkhadi. I've seen them going after rodents before, but to actually see them chasing down that baby antelope and actually getting it for twice at least down on the ground. But mommy blessbuck was so incredible and able to protect its little one, which was awesome. But that was some heart racing stuff. Oh, we've got some comments about everyone's snacks and drinks. Catherine, you have got cinnamon popcorn and ginger ale. Oof, I do. Popcorn is one of my personal weaknesses. I like to make it on the stove top, sort of from scratch, as it were. And I love experimenting with different flavors. I don't think I've ever had cinnamon before. I'm going to have to try that, Catherine. Colin, you have a cup of tea. That is a classic. I hope it is delicious. And Penelope, you are having a glass of wine with your lunch. I hope you enjoy that as well. Well, a lovely start here at Tembe. Let's head over and see what's happening at Tau. Wow, quite a lot happening here actually. Always such variety at Tau. I love it. We've got some male waterbuck, zebra drinking, wildebeest coming down to the water, and an elephant. And this is another place where we often begin to hear quite a variety of bird calls. I remember early in the year hearing the Dedrick's cuckoos calling here quite a bit. And now I can hear a chinspot battis, one note of its call at the moment, just a beep. There, those beautiful zebra. Oh, there's an elephant and a very baby elephant that is coming down to the water in the background there, towards the left of the screen. I must say, I have missed seeing very baby ellies. It's one thing I'm really looking forward to heading back to the Lowveld, is to see some baby elephants. I can't really complain there because I've seen a lot of baby animals here at Mabula. We had an amazing drive. That one looks so small. Try to walk there with Mum. I'm not actually sure what it's trying to do. Maybe get into the mud? Or maybe just walk over the uneven surface. Interesting on that topic, Tadi was directing the show today and mentioned the leucistic elephant that was seen, baby elephant that was seen on Juma recently in the drives, and I think it's been spotted again since the first time that it was seen. And it's such an interesting thing. I've seen it quite a few times. We refer to them as pink elephants basically, and I've actually seen some of them grow up. We are back, everybody, and still in the same place here at Tau. A beautiful heron is now out in the open. The elephant and its baby is moving off, but we were chatting, and Janine had asked about the baby elephant, or the pink elephant that was seen at Juma, and how that leucism would affect, or the lack of pigment could affect its eyesight, because when she saw it, it looked like it was sort of fumbling its way around. It is possible, Janine, that the lack of pigment does affect leucistic animals' eyesight and the quality of their vision. However, I'm very hesitant to say all leucistic animals struggle with vision, and the reason I say that is because of the white lions on Ngala that I spent time with, and got to actually spend a lot of time with when I was guiding there. And those lions were completely fine in terms of being able to hunt, they seem to have really good eyesight. I mean, obviously in comparison to a tawny lion, unless scientifically we're able to somehow test, it's impossible to say 100% yay or nay, but they weren't fumbling their way around. They could see, seems to be very well. However, it is not to say that other animals that suffer from, well, let me not say suffer, but are leucistic, don't have disabilities. Apparently leucism can affect eyesight. It can also affect hearing abilities, and the survival rate, particularly with elephants, where melanin is such an important part of being able to survive in the harsh African climate, especially with the sun, and being able to control their temperature. And that's why, personally, I've never seen a fully adult leucistic elephant. I've seen one. I did mention, I'm not sure if this part was heard or not, so I'll just repeat it. But I have seen a leucistic elephant that was probably in its early teen years, but I have never seen an older one than that. And I think that is because climate conditions just make it very difficult for something that is lacking their pigment, specifically when it's an animal that needs dark pigment, to survive in these conditions. With cats, slightly different. With the white lions, they're not going to struggle with overheating, for example. If we think of something like cheetahs, when you get the king cheetah, the extra black, the recessive gene that forms the excessive melanin being produced rather than too little, and that's something that actually is also part of why their survival rate is low to non-existent in the wild, because of the fact that they're just too hot. There's too much black pigment on their body, so I have read. So it's an interesting one to look into how the recessive gene, either too much melanin or too little, being, leucistic or not, can actually affect an animal, and with different species the effects will be different. Doreen, I wouldn't quite maybe word it as the coloration being issues for them, because it's the feather rather than the actual skin color or their fur, for example. We do get morphs of birds. So you get, for example, a pale morph Wahlberg's eagle. You get sometimes the reds and oranges of certain birds being different. For example, the black collared barbet typically has a red face. You also get the orange variant, and that's got to do with the carotenoids and the way the body digests its food and is able to extract the color from its diet. But is it an issue for the bird itself? Not that I'm aware of. Is it possible that they may become they may lack pigment in other areas that may be needed? For example, a leucistic bird that has its eyesight affected, that could very well, maybe. But in terms of variation in the coloration of the bird being an issue or having a negative effect, I don't think the coloration of the actual feather or a variation of that coloration, for example, getting a dark morph of a bird of prey compared to a pale morph of a bird of prey, will have an impact on that individual species. Speaking of birds, we're going to have a look around here, see if we can find any. Sometimes there's some interesting waders. That was the tree that used to house a lot of weavers in the last summer season, but the elephants got to that tree this winter. Some of the common waders that we see, I think there we go, is one of them, the common moorhen, typically black bird, a bit larger than the black crake. It's got majority yellow bill with red bill with a yellow tip. We also see three-banded plovers, black crakes, white-faced whistling duck I saw earlier, the heron, sometimes spoonbills, egrets, sandpipers, Egyptian geese, of course, spur-wing gooses as well. Oh, there is one of those little plovers I was talking about. Ah, there's the red-billed teals. And I think a sandpiper. Oh wow, they all just tucked away. Very well camouflaged in the grey mud, I must say. Penelope, thanks for letting me know. You said that you saw a big croc here yesterday. Absolutely, I think I remember that croc that you're talking about, and I think it was the one with the warthog kill that we had here a few weeks ago. Wasn't that just the most incredible sighting? Unbelievable that we got to see that on the show. Okay, well, let's head over to Hyena Pan and try and search for a hyena. Well, there is an elephant. Apparently there was a hyena moving earlier. Just trying to see if we can find it again. And just look at the trees getting greener, everyone. I was saying the last time I was here, we could you couldn't see it from far away, but when you were closer up to the mapanis, they were starting with their green leaves. And now look at the trees. Now it's starting to be noticeable that those new leaves are pushing through. Well, we hop back over to Tembe, where these elephants are still around, of course. We will see if we can get Hyena Pan back, but in the meantime, it's always beautiful to be here. This is also a great spot for birding, and often we see African jacanas, lots of other water birds as well that pop around. I think there was a woolly neck stork earlier, which are pretty much resident in this spot. Oh, there's another friend coming to join at this particular spot. It's actually interestingly quite quiet. The last time I was here, we had all the weavers making quite a noise building their nests. I was just looking at that elephant whose tummy was deciding to work. So, Colin, I'm actually back in the Sabi stands in a week. I can't believe it's a week today, but yes, but I'll just be there for 1 or 2 days, and then I'll come back for a longer time the very first week of December. So I'm heading back to the Lowveld tomorrow, having a short break, and then yes, heading to Juma over the weekend. And then I will be back for a bit of a longer time in the first week of December. But I cannot wait to get back to the Lowveld. I've been away there now for 2 weeks, and I feel like it's transformed just in the 2 weeks I've been gone. There has been quite a bit of rain that's come through, but I just can't believe looking at the drives that James and Cedric were doing there and some of the highlights from there. Well, there were many, let's be honest, over the last week or two. How green it is. It's unbelievable. I could hear the white-faced whistling ducks there calling and hopping around. Gary, you want to know what birds we would find here that we wouldn't find anywhere else? So that question, Gary, it's difficult to say that there are birds here that we just wouldn't find anywhere else. But what I can say that there are birds in northern KwaZulu-Natal that aren't Tembe specific, but more sort of associated with perhaps coastal regions or very high rainfall areas that you wouldn't find in other parts of South Africa. For example, wow, look at these African jacanas here. They are such beautiful birds. So, for example, when it comes to quite foresty habitats and this sort of area, you're looking at things like emerald cuckoos, for example, African emerald cuckoo. You're looking at maybe Narina trogons. You're looking at areas like sand forest, which are very unique. Broad-billed roller. Sorry, not broad-billed roller. Just a broad bill, which is a beautiful bird. A little bit further down in very specific area. You looking at things like white-eared barbets, sort of what's coming to the top of my head at the moment. But there's just so many really special birds that you get in areas where Tembe is located, as well as the surrounding areas. And also it's not too far inland, so you've got an element around, like for example the St. Lucia wetlands or Isimangaliso park, that is amazing for birding. And you also get some of the very rare coastal birds coming that can be seen, for example some of the terns or African skimmers or something like that might pop out. And there we have a Dedrick's cuckoo actually calling right now. And as I say that, it stops. Lady Macbeth, you love white-faced whistling ducks. They are super cool. We actually hear them a lot here at Mabula, and especially when they call. Very specific call, and they often do call when they're flying, and they, in the evening time, they create that classic sort of V-shaped formation. Sometimes, not every time. There they are, the white-faced whistling ducks. And I can't wait for more of the cuckoo calls to be heard. Class's cuckoo is another beautiful green cuckoo that we get, and it has a lovely, very pretty call. And then the black cuckoo as well, which I did hear calling here about a week ago, just over a week ago or so. But there's something about this scene that is just so peaceful. Really nature at its best in some ways. can hear European bee eaters now as well. How beautiful is that call? Alright, well, let's head over to the Olifants River and see some elephants that have come down for a drink. Oh, what a pretty spot as well. Also starting to green up here along the banks. And so wonderful to see these two elephants here at the water's edge. You can hear some greater blue-eared starlings, orange-breasted bushrat calling. And that's the one thing, as summer comes, the bird calls just become out of this world, really. It just becomes so busy and there's a constant sound, and the early mornings especially just become incredibly full of this dawn chorus around the rivers especially, or water bodies. Oh, there's some more elephants. Oh, this is beautiful. And it's also really cool to know that these are not necessarily elephants that we've met before. With Olifant's West Game Reserve being completely open to the greater Kruger, there's, elephants are moving through and across the river all the time. And these could be elephants that came from a different area. Also, the South African special, the Hardy-Da ibis, calling there. Lady Macbeth, absolutely. Elephants are extraordinary in so many different ways, and I think that's why we all love them so much. And I could sit here and just watch them doing their thing for hours, as many times we do actually on this show. Rosie, absolutely. I think elephant bonds are incredibly special, and it is part of why us as humans do relate so well with them, so closely with them. We tend to have this connection with them, and you find stories like the elephant whisperer and similar things like that are just remarkable. And these elephants learn, and they can form connections not only between each other but with humans in certain circumstances as well. And it is something that makes them such an incredible animal. Looks like they're deciding to cross back over the river. Oh, and there's some impalas around, another elephant there on the bank. The one on the bank looks like it's almost kneeling down. I think it's trying to reach maybe some of the figs on the fig tree. Lots of these sycamore figs growing here. Ooh, someone's not happy. I actually thought that was a hyena lying there for a second. But it's not, of course. I don't think the elephants would just ignore it like that. I really love rivers. I think it's something that especially ones, of course, that are flowing. And one of my favorite ways to relax when I'm on leave, or if we plan to go away somewhere, I always try and plan for a place that's on a river. It's just so wonderful to sit and watch with the moving water, the animals come and go. It really is one of my favorite places. Oh, this is very cool. We are going to hop on over to Mabula at Ganupan, which is not too far from where I am. Well, this is awesome. This is a African wattled lapwing, and actually not necessarily something that we associate always with the water. It's one that we generally see out in the open plains. You would normally think of something like the white crowned lapwing, being a lot whiter in coloration, a lot larger wattles than the wattled lapwing. I know it's very confusing, but there you go. And something that I associate quite strongly with the Crocodile River in particular, just because of time spent there. But nevertheless, it is a beautiful lapwing. Bright yellow wattles and bright legs. Oh, there is a cormorant as well. Looks like a reed cormorant, and I've actually seen it at this pan before when we visited there. And it's wonderful to see this particular bird hunting. It's actually incredible. We sat and watched it the other day, and almost every single time it went underwater, it caught a fish, even if it was a small fish. Oh, and a very itchy neck by the looks of things as well. And this pan is in such a beautiful spot. I saw a highlight recently of a leopard that came here to drink a little while ago, but during the middle of the night. That looks like a cattle egret. Can just see that sort of very almost light brown on the top of the head and the back. and we often get zebras coming to drink here. It really is a pretty bird. Gwyn has just hopped into the director's chair, and it almost looks like it went for highlights, not only on the top of its head, but on its chest and its back as well. And that is a rather large dragonfly, I must say. Looks like. Oh, there's a giraffe. And not just any giraffe, but a little giraffe. Oh, sweet. I wonder if it's just had a drink or if it's finding the right spot. I think it's gonna drink. I'm sure Mom can't be far away. Instinctively, it is just so cautious. Oh, there we go. There's another one. Also, actually looks like a younger one. Maybe there's a whole journey around the pan. There we go. Oh, what a fantastic sighting. Looks like it's just licking its lips and its nose before it goes for another drink. Oh, there's some warthogs that have come down as well. It's all happening here today. Including quite a thirsty giraffe. Kenneth, so great question regarding if it's true that if they drink for too long, the blood will rush to their brain. So no, that's actually not true. Giraffes have these amazing sort of one-way valves with a certain level of elasticity. So that actually means that the blood is stopped from flowing to their brain too quickly. And the lifting of their head is actually more out of vulnerability than anything else. They are so cautious of what's around them. There's a bigger giraffe coming now. But they can leave their heads down for quite a long time and drink if they feel comfortable to do so. So it's actually an amazing adaptation that the main veins and blood vessels around in the neck traveling up and down have sort of allowed stop the blood from flowing too quickly due to those one-way valves, and also the blood vessels being able to change their size so that the amount of blood that's flowing doesn't increase dramatically, or then it's too little, for example. So it's not true that they sort of all the blood just rushes to their brain when they drink. They actually have the valves that stop that from happening. You can see this female is very thirsty, keeping her head down for quite a long time. These giraffes are really enjoying the green leaves that are popping out at the moment. And many of the thorn trees and even silver cluster leaves now, the beechwoods and syringas are all bursting forth with plenty of green leaves. Oh, some more giraffes. Let's head over to Jabulani. Oh wow, what a beautiful view. It's almost like having a death stare with me there where when the camera changed. Wow, just goes to show how low these giraffes have to go. Oh, there's some vervet monkeys just moving around there. And are those impalas coming to drink in the background? I really do feel like this giraffe doesn't trust us. I think it might see the movement of the camera somewhat and be trying to decide what is happening over here. Unless it's looking at something behind us, which could also very well be the case. There we go, one of the monkeys coming to drink. But what a beautiful giraffe. And even something like a vervet monkey is also looking around and checking. And it's just this sort of natural instinct that comes with these animals that aren't necessarily classified as predators. They just are aware, and always the possibility of maybe a crocodile as well. So they keep their wits about them, as it were. Oh, Julian, you say that you think that was your first time seeing a monkey drinking. Well, I'm glad we could share that with you. They do tend to come to waterholes fairly often. I would say they probably drink every day if water's available to them. This giraffe is still not sure about us, I feel like. Looks like some grooming happening over there. And monkeys, much like baboons, will groom each other. Oh, there's an impala. Just actually trying to see if that's a baby monkey that the one on the right has on its belly. But it was just so small. But I think it may be. I think this one on the right has a little one. It is time for vervet monkeys to have their babies. They're actually born now, within the last few weeks would have been born. Oh, it is a little one. You can see the ears there. Oh my word, look how small that is. It's suckling. Oh no, that is too cute. Look at the size of its ears. No, that is too cute. I'm really hoping Mom gives us another view of that little one. It really would only be potentially a week or two old. Jen Mac it is, isn't it? And I mean, we got such a perfect view of the face there. It just looked straight at us. I just can't believe how enormous the ears are. Oh, there's the baby's tail sticking out there. This could actually be the one on the left, could be her offspring from last year. Oh, mom's off. Oh, look at the little one hanging there, and in the perfect spot on mom's belly where it has access to the mammary glands whenever it needs it. And that was just the highlight of the show today for sure. Spas, I know. It's so hard to describe the cuteness that we just witnessed. And I just know I'm so happy that all of you at home got to share it all with me. Rosie, thank you so much for your kind words. It has been a wonderful Waterholes show. I can't believe we are nearly at the end of it. Well, what a bonus for me to be able to join you at the Waterhole show today, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. It was wonderful to chat to you all, and thank you for all of your comments and questions today. And yes, Penelope, I'm also glad we made it through the glitches and all continued smoothly for most of the show, actually almost all of it. So sometimes these things happen, but we get through it, and I'm glad we had an amazing show today. Now remember, later on this afternoon, 4 p.m. Central African time, we'll be live with Safari, and myself and Cam will be out at Mabula with that. So I wish you all a wonderful weekend further, everybody. Live at the Waterhole will be back tomorrow, so make sure that you join again for that. But from myself and the team here, we wish you, like I said, a great weekend ahead, a great Saturday ahead, however much of it you have left. And I'll see you out there later. Goodbye for now.